It's time for the Rick Smith Show. Now, here is the voice of the working class, Rick Smith. Welcome back to the Rick Smith Show. Now, here is Rick Smith.
So yesterday, workers at the Amazon delivery service partner, Battle Tested Strategies, walked out on strike in Palmdale, California. And I remember we talked about this, I guess it's got to be a couple of months now, where these workers organized and they were saying, look, they're the first delivery drivers for Amazon to unionize, to help fight for better wages, hours, conditions. And I said, this is historic. This is great. Now, as I understand, Amazon's trying to get rid of them because, well, Walmart got away with it. That's why I've asked one of the drivers to come talk with us. Jesse Moreno is an Amazon driver. He's one of the battle-tested strategy drivers. He is a member of the Teamsters. Jesse, thanks for taking time for us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rick. Glad to be here.
So walk me through this strike yesterday. What brought it on?
Well, yesterday we went on an unfair labor practice strike. We got this heat coming up, and we have terrible vans, terrible routes. We just wanted to make it clear to Amazon that we're tired of it, and we need to make these changes, and we need better working conditions. So we got our guys organized, and we walked out on them. We were able to shut down the warehouse.
Now, this air conditioning issue seems to be the bane of this hour of the program, because the reality is, as climate change, as you're in areas that have excessive heat, workers are susceptible to heat. How do employers not understand that?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge issue. I mean, we get put in these vans out here in the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster area. Heat reaches, up to 120. It gets really, really hot. And then they expect us to deliver, 300 plus packages in 8 hours in vans with no air conditioning. We step into the back of our vans, it's another 20 degrees hotter back there. It's actually like stepping into an oven, and it's dangerous. We gotta pull over and step out into this heat to combat, the heat that we have inside our vehicles, which goes, and it says a lot.
How many packages in 8 hours?
They expect us to deliver between 250 to 350 packages, and it gets even crazier during Prime Week, during the holidays, and we're expected to get these done in a timely manner. If we don't get it done, there's a time limit that's set by Amazon, and they reach out to our dispatch team, who reaches out to us and asks why we're behind. They need to get a clear answer as to why we're, 5 packages behind 5 hours into our shift. And that's something that is straight brought down by Amazon.
Just the sheer number. Stop and think of how many stops that is per hour. And look, even if you're just, walking door to door, carrying packages, that's humping.
Yeah. It's pretty hard on our guys. Amazon recently changed their operations to being able to get more stops out of us. So now what they started doing is grouping stops. So say you go down one neighborhood and you drive down one street, you have, let's say, 4 deliveries on that one street. So you're stopping at 4 different houses. Amazon will make that one stop.
Wow.
When realistically we're driving or stopping at 4 different houses, but to them that's just one stop.
And this is where, you see these videos. I got to imagine that you then run into a lot of problems with the general public. I've seen some of these videos where people are yelling at Amazon drivers because they're just stopped in the middle of the road because they got to go run and deliver this package. And they're yelling at this poor guy. And he's like, look, I'm just trying to make a delivery. We should be yelling at Amazon.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. They're the ones who dictate our routes, what we have to do, how fast we're supposed to do them. And, if we don't, then, Amazon gets on us, and it falls down on on our shoulders to make sure that we're pushing through this heat, these dangerous routes. We're instructed to take these packages to the front doors of our customers, meaning we have to enter their yards where they have, aggressive dogs. I've been chased myself twice already without the knowledge of a dog being in the yard until I get to the front door and then I hear the barking and I have to, hightail it out of there, jump over the fence just to be able to make it back to my vehicle. And it's stuff like that where we can't reject these stops. If we leave the packages at the gate, we get in trouble for it.
And now you add this kind of conditioning with wages that I hear are subpar, with benefits that are almost not the greatest. And no wonder there's an appetite for workers to organize. There's no wonder that you guys have joined the union. Do you find that as you're explaining your story to people that there are other Amazon drivers going, hey, us too?
Little by little, we've heard other DSP drivers that, want in on the action and want to be a part of the fight, but they're scared because they don't have the numbers that luckily we did. We got a petition going. I think last year, one of our coworkers was actually trying to get a petition going to get these vans fixed. And luckily, we had good amount of numbers, but it just wasn't able to make a difference. And with us, going on strike, having our petitions, we're making waves, and we're hearing from other states, other DSPs, that we have other Amazon drivers that are ready to join the fight. And, we just got to make sure that we could support everyone nationwide. And that's what we want to do. We're ready to, blow this thing up. We need Amazon to come to the table, and we need Amazon to listen to what we want. And what we're asking for is extremely fair. Yeah. We want what our brothers and sisters at UPS have.
And look, they want you to have it too. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the idea of, and I go back to when I started, in the freight industry, 85% of the LTL market was unionized when I started. Everyone had the same, basic wage structure, the same health insurance, the same retirement security, and you competed on service, you competed on quality, you competed on the positive things, not on who was willing to slit each other's throats for pennies. So when I see the kind of competitions that's been set up between UPS, Teamsters, and you guys, it's almost unfair in the way it's been allowed to be set up, which is why I'm glad to see that you guys are organizing and getting what you guys earn. I mean, I'll tell you, 300 stops in an 8-hour shift, I don't know how you pull it off.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, we get put into some pretty dangerous areas as well, and we're still expected to meet Amazon standards. A lot of us, we push through our 15-minute breaks. Some of us, like myself, who have different zip codes, I'll drive through my 30-minute break just to make sure that I could, get all my packages done and not get reprimanded by Amazon. That's or wrong. feel slightly disrespected when I return at the end of the day with 3-4 packages, and they keep asking me why are they being returned. Like, makes me feel like I can't do my job. Nice. When they don't know, being out on this road, what we do, what we go through to make sure that we get these packages delivered to our customer.
You listen to the Rick Smith Show here with Jesse Moreno. He's an Amazon driver, Teamster member. I got to get this out. IBT.io/AD Solidarity Fund. We'll get links out on social media how you can help contribute. The idea is, look, these folks need a little help. Make a donation to this to help other Amazon drivers get this information. Because, look, I think at the end of the day, Jesse, this is a grassroots movement of working people who have been, I think, abused for far too long, coming out of the pandemic where you were told, I'm sure, you were heroes. And we've heard this rhetoric before. I think the moment is now, the appetite is now for what you guys have done. And you've shown that there's a pathway forward. I mean, this past April, you guys organized and won an election and sat down and did some bargaining. This is showing that it's possible, right?
Yes, extremely possible. I mean, we were all excited. We all. I think we were at like 90-something% with all of our members that wanted to unionize. We got the vote to our contract. We got this ball rolling pretty quick because what we demand and what we need we know is extremely fair. So it's time for Amazon to, come to the table and, listen to us. And, that's going to be the biggest struggle, it seems. So, we got to go on strike. We got to do what we can to make Amazon, pay attention. We're not going to go away. It's not going to be, an easy, just get rid of us and that's it. The headache is gone. No, we're going to continue to fight. And anything that, the listeners can contribute and help with, it means a lot to me, our team, because we need to keep pushing. We need to keep fighting. And my guys, we're not going to be scared that much longer, because seeing the support that we have nationwide is awesome. And, anything that anybody could help means a lot to us. It's going to help continue this fight.
So what do you say to other Amazon drivers? I mean, we've got radio audiences all over this country. Many of them I've got Amazon facilities, just down the road from where I live. What's the outreach to them? What's the message to those folks right now listening, going, man, I'd love to have better wages. I'd love to get, air conditioning in my vehicle. I'd love to get better conditions. What's the message to them?
Yeah, message to everybody, all the Amazon drivers is, we started this fight, DAX 8 out here, BTS and Palmdale, but we're spreading it nationwide. Reach out to, your locals, your Teamsters, reach out to them, let them know that you guys are ready. You guys are tired of it. We're ready to, go nationwide. If you guys have any questions, you guys need anything, please reach out. It's scary. It's $1 billion company, but the support that we have and that we've seen out here in Palmdale is extreme, and it's gonna spread nationwide. Do not be scared. Reach out to your locals, reach out to the Teamsters, get as much information as you need, and start organizing your guys underground. Reach out, because we're gonna bring this to Amazon.
So last line of questioning I've got for you, because a lot of these DSPs are set up as third-party logistic firms where they can be set aside. And I understand there's a threat that Amazon's trying to retaliate against you guys and set aside this battle-tested strategies company. What do you say to people on that front? I mean, I'm going to lose my situation, and as bad as it is here, as horrible as it is, at least I've got this. What do you say to folks?
Well, Amazon has spread a narrative out there that we were underperforming and that we were already going to lose our contract, which is completely untrue. Our score was up there. We had a great score. I think it was in like the 90%. So that false narrative that they're spreading is just to obviously make them look better, that they were already cutting ties with BTS when I think we are one of the top performing DSPs at our location. They're just trying to play in their scare tactics. They're doing what they need to make it sound like what we were doing is not right, and they're already pushing us out the door, which we don't think is true.
A lot of work to do. Jesse Moreno, I appreciate you taking time for us. Good on you for the work that you're doing. I hope you'll come back and talk to us again real soon.
Yeah. Whenever you guys want me, I'll be there for sure.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, Jesse. Appreciate the time. No, this is one of those things, folks. At the end of the day, helping workers make their conditions better for them and for everyone else. And I hope folks will check out the website, ibt.io/AD Solidarity Fund. We'll get links out on social media because you're probably never going to remember that. But I highly suggest, if you got a couple of bucks, help them out. Going to take a quick break. Right back with your thoughts. Stick around. Listen to The Rick Smith Show. The working people.
So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong.
If Donald Trump is convicted of a crime and you're elected president, would you pardon him?
Well, I don't want to speak about hypotheticals.
It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax.
Those are pictures of newspapers and of personal pictures of the president. That's not classified material right there.
I think there is
looks
some,
bad.
Do you have evidence that the president, when he was president, now former president, actually declassified these documents before he took them?
I go on the president's word, and he said he did.
I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person.
This
is an insurrection.
If you want to get to President Trump, you're going to have to go through me, and you're going to have to go through 75 million Americans just like me.
He is immunized against any indictment because of the Durham report.
Hillary Clinton set up an illegal private server in her basement
to conduct government business, and when an investigation is had about your activity. No, let me finish.
But you didn't answer the question.
That was ridiculous. Well, yeah, I'm trying to answer the question from a Republican point of view.
If he has to take his solemn oath in a prison cell, the next thing he will do is pardon himself.
This will be obliteration, perhaps obliteration of the entire world. I will prevent it.
That is why I introduced the Save Our Gas Stoves Act.
You're not going to take my gas stove away.
I love my gas stove.
This isn't the moment to start lecturing people about the science of climate change.
Everybody's being murdered and beat up and mugged. We're not going to let it happen. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
For more than 40 years, under Democratic and Republican presidents, the old factory towns in America's heartland have been taking a beating. Factories closed, trade deals that usually helped big corporations instead of working people. Folks losing their union protections and pensions as wages fell and healthcare costs rose. Roads, bridges, water systems, and schools crumbling. And of course, the opioid epidemic, which has just been devastating. Now folks are getting hit with rising prices, while huge wealthy corporations jack up costs and brag to their stockholders about record-breaking profits. Thing is, though, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Unions are making a comeback, with more organizing in the last couple of years than in a long time. And the Biden administration being more supportive of unions than any president since FDR. The American Recovery Package has allowed cities and counties to hire new police officers and firefighters and start rebuilding their communities again. After years of politicians talking about it, they finally passed a big new infrastructure package to rebuild roads and bridges, fix drinking water systems, and make the energy grid more secure. The new CHIPS bill that got passed will bring jobs back home and has already resulted in big announcements of major new factories opening. The Inflation Reduction Act, in addition to finally allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices with Big Pharma, will lower energy prices and create millions of new jobs by dramatically increasing the manufacturing of solar panels, wind turbines, electric cars, and energy-efficient home appliances. Now our country is at a crossroads. We're finally turning things around after 40 years of screwing over working people. But will we keep moving in the right direction? That's our choice as Americans.
Welcome back to the Rick Smith Show. Check out our website, ricksmithshow.com. I want to start off by thanking everyone this week for putting up with my COVID brain. Yeah, it's been a rough week. I got to be honest with you. Got COVID a week ago. It's just a week ago. I'm still technically in quarantine. But it has been a brutal week. First time I got it, and fortunately, as I said earlier in the week, the vaccine I think helped. And, I've worked through it, but wow, the fog, been a rough week. So I want to thank everyone, and for everyone who sent me ill wishes. Too bad, didn't happen. Not this time. Better luck if it happens down the future. Now, here's the thing. I look at what's going on with the Teamsters and Amazon, the Teamsters and UPS. This is an opportunity for this union to really take this industry. And look, I've talked before. I came from the LTL industry, less than truckload industry, where when I started, it was 85% unionized, which meant the wages, hours, conditions were pretty much standardized across the industry. So the competition was based on, service quality, productivity, those kind of the positive things, the things that you want to compete on, not who's willing to starve their children. And yet, as the years have gone, thank you, Jimmy Carter signing trucking deregulation and Ronald Reagan, slamming on the gas and really the shot heard across the boardroom. we're now seeing in the LTL industry like 10%. And wages, conditions, situations, a lot different. And, I talk to people all the time who say things, things are getting worse, or have been forced to cut corners, forced to do all kinds of things that would have never happened years ago. And now you've got all of these pressures from the federal government with ELDs and all kinds of, shoulder, eyes over your shoulder. Again, putting the onus and responsibility and all of the pressure and the burdens on the individual. And this is why I think the organizing that's happening at Amazon is so very important. Because, Amazon has a system. They already got it in place. Where if you just want to take your car and go deliver 5 packages, they'll throw you 5 packages to to deliver on your way home. Because now everyone's going to be a gig employee. And they're going to make their profit off of you thinking, hey, I'm just dropping stuff on the way home. It's not a big deal. Not the wear and tear on your vehicle, not the extra time that you're spending doing it. Hey, it's just a couple extra bucks. And what we're doing is destroying the standard of living of working people. And they understand. They know what they're doing. Look, the smart people who think tank this stuff, the smart people who game this stuff out, who come up with these schemes to destroy good wages for working people, they game this stuff out. They know what they're doing. For instance, when Amazon says we don't hire delivery drivers, we hire a company who hires those. So they got plausible deniability for any of the horrible things that happen while they're feeding them all of the mandates and all of the terms of service and where you got to go, when you got to go, how you got to go, where your attire, all this stuff. Because our laws are so badly screwed up. Now, like I talked about earlier, they want to do away with labor laws. I keep saying we need to strengthen them. We need to update them. Yeah. 1938 was a long time ago with the Fair Labor Standards Act. Absolutely. We need a major refresh. Because none of the schemes and gimmicks that they're hawking right now are new. None of this stuff's new. It's just got different lipstick on this pig. But you know what it is all about? It's about more for them and less for us. It's about more for the handful and less for working people. Because understand, and this is the reality of it. Understand, if it were good for you, they would never allow you to do it. If it were good for workers, they wouldn't allow it. My grandfather always said if a rich guy's going to take a buck out of his pocket to tell you don't need something, you better spend 2 to get it. We're in that moment. We're in the moment of it's time to spend $2. It's time to spend to get what we need. And if that's politics, if that's organizing in the workplace, if that's organizing in our community, it's what has to happen. And look, there are people they're going to try and tear apart. And you let them go. Those are the 5s. Okay, good luck, buddy. You're always going to have people who are going to scab on a job. But the rest of the working class, the rest of us, at some point, got to push back. Because remember, if you will, walk with me, if you will, back to the good old days of, 2020, 2021, maybe a little bit into 2022, when people were heroes and they were essential, and we were thanking fast food workers for going to work so that cops and firefighters could have something to eat. We were thanking nurses, effusive with praise of our healthcare professionals and the heroic work that they did, only now to turn around and claw most of that back and treat them like garbage now. I'm glad that there's a union out there right now saying, you know what? We remember. And we demand that we be treated as such. You can't on one day say I'm a hero and then the next day I'm a piece of you-know-what. And I hope, I'm in this hopeful moment. I'm in this hopeful moment that we're going to remember. That people are going to remember what it was like during the pandemic and all of the platitudes that were thrown at us. No raises, of course. This is the amazing part to me. No raises. But we got, they said nice things for a short period of time. Now how about we demand better? How about we ensure that the future is brighter? Because I'll tell you, the more, the Amazon drivers I talk to, even UPS drivers, the conditions are deplorable. The fact that UPS drivers don't have air conditioning in their truck, that they're constantly monitored. And look, UPS drivers do a great job. They're one of the most beloved working people in this country. Everyone loves the brown guy. But if you knew what they go through, this is one of those moments where wake up. One of those moments where, maybe there's going to be a strike. I hope not. But sometimes there has to be. I think back to, I remember an old timer years ago when I was just a kid, first started out. He said, every 10 years we went on strike. Every 10 years you got to, even if it's for just a day, so that people know they fought for something, that they won something, that they take ownership of something. And the sad reality is, for the last couple of decades, we haven't had that. We haven't had that fight. And maybe this is the future. Because his logic was, if you fought for something, if you won something, you wouldn't give it back. You wouldn't be so easy to trade it for something else. That you won something, that you made something better. And look, that's not just in the workplace. That's in society. That's in anything we'll do. And can you look around and say that we're actually making life better in this country? When we've got a media culture that's all about outrage and hysteria. When we've got, the F channel blathering on about something that's not even factually accurate, but just meant to outrage, to enrage, to get people, hating each other. I don't understand it. I don't understand how we want to live in this place like this, and how we aren't demanding more change. I hope we're going to get there. I'm hoping that the coming weeks, months, and years bring us back together in ways that give us a brighter future. But I appreciate everyone tuning in, especially this week, which was a very rough week for me. Wow, I'll tell you, it was probably one of the roughest weeks that I've had doing this program. But thank you for tolerating, and thank you for all the people who sent well wishes. I do really appreciate it, and all the people who said nice things. Thank you. If you missed any portion of the program, make sure you grab the podcast. Wherever you find your favorite podcast, you'll find ours. Also, I want to hear what you think. Email me, rick@thericksmithshow.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you back here next time.
Who are we? Teamsters! Who are we? Teamsters! Who are we? Teamsters! Who are we? Teamsters! Who are we? Teamsters!